My speech is on prescription drug abuse in the United States today. One of the top 10 prescribed drugs, or most prescribed drugs in the USA today. Number 1 is hydrocortisone. Number 2 is Lipitor. Number 3 is Norcebec. Number 4 is Sympathan. Number 5 is Prozac or Provosec. Purple little pill. You see that fat guy in there taking every day. Number 6 is amoxicillin. Number 7 is methadone, a diabetic drug. Number 8 is Xanax, that's for anxiety. Number 9 is Ambien, and number 10 is Zoloft, and that's for depression. This can be found in Prevention Magazine or American Physicians Weekly. American Physicians Weekly does a little bit better job. They have a little more broad-based view of the prescribed drugs in the USA. A little more, I guess, a little more top 20 of the drugs that are taken a day. One of the top 5 deadliest drugs. This is from GoArticles.com. Number 1 is Darvon. Number 2 is Advania, diabetic drug. Yasma, the pregnancy drug, which the drug companies tout as a miracle drug for preventing pregnancy. Number 4 is Accutane. Number 5 is Norma, another pregnancy drug. Who is the most likely to abuse prescription drugs? Well, let's start off with the elderly. 17% of the elderly abuse prescription drugs. That is from the USA Today in 2001, about 13 years ago. Megan Murnau, if I got this guy's name pronounced right, takes 10 prescribed drugs a day. Anywhere from high cholesterol to high blood pressure to anxiety, depression, etc., etc. He's on 10 prescription drugs a day. This is from ABC News, from their program about the elderly being confused on how many drugs they take a day. The second group that is most likely to abuse prescription drugs a day are high school and college students. 33% of college students and high school students abuse Ritalin or Adderall. That's from 2008. The College Reporter says since 2004, 6.1% of college and high school students abuse Ritalin or Adderall. The side effects from these drugs. Let's go back to the top 5. Darvon has an increased risk of heart attacks and has killed 589 people since the 70s. Advania has a 43% risk of heart attack increase. Yes, the pregnancy drug killed 18-year-old Michelle Flieger after being on that drug for only a month. She died from blood clots. Kathy Kelsner had a brain seizure from taking Yaz. She had part of her skull removed. Susan Gallows had part of her gallbladder removed from taking Yaz. Accutane has an increased risk of depression, irritable bowel syndrome, and suicide. Norvine killed 32-year-old Jackie Kelly after being on that drug for 6 months. Deaths from prescription drugs. Well, I just mentioned a few from the top 5 deadly drugs. You have a 6,200% chance of dying from a prescribed drug than you would have from being shot from a homicidal shooter. You are also more likely to die from prescription drugs than you are from cocaine or heroin. That's from Business Insider. You're also more likely to die from a prescribed drug than you are from being in an automobile accident. And that's from Mercola.com. American News Reports says that 15,000 people in 2008 died from prescription painkillers. Drug companies, why don't they tell you the side effects of these drugs? Marshall Angel wrote a book, The Truth About Drug Companies, and this can be found in Mother Jones Magazine or New York Review of Books. Drug companies only care about the stockholders, about the profits from the drugs they make. In fact, in 2002, drug companies profited $400 billion from the sales of drugs and prescribed drugs. In conclusion, prescription drugs are dangerous. They have many side effects, and the drug companies do not care if you get sick from taking their prescription drugs. They care only about the profits that they make from the drugs themselves. So in the end, just watch what you put in your mouth. Thank you.